Most people spend their lives climbing ladders, but every once in a while, someone quietly steps off the ladder and starts building something entirely different, my friends. Today's guest has worn many hats, rather too many. Corporate professional, entrepreneur, retail builder, transport innovator, 3D printing advocate, educator, and over the last few years, bzzz, yeah, a beekeeper. Yes, you heard me right. And how cool is that? But I have a feeling this conversation isn't really about businesses or bees. It's about curiosity, reinvention, and having the courage to keep becoming. More than keep going, keep becoming is intense. Welcome to episode 23 of the UD Roadcast, from Cubicles to Beehives. And joining me today is someone who many years ago happened to be my dear student, and today has become a fellow traveler with stories worth sharing. Welcome, Srujan. Welcome to the UD
Thank
Roadcast.
you so much. Thank you so much for the warm introduction, yeah, sir. And I would like to refer sir to you, if that's okay on this. And I still remember back in the Pune days where I was still trying to figure life out. You were one of those people who were very much influential and inspirational for me. And this conversation is going to be surreal about it. So thank you so much for the invite.
Pleasures. All man, first of all, thank you very much for your kind words, buddy. Mean the world to me. Now, look at you, look at you. Look at the stubble and the salt and pepper. Uh,
Yeah,
gray, shall we say, graying gracefully.
sure, sure. Absolutely, sir. Yeah.
Uh, you know me and my observing small, minute things, because small things matter. That's an occupation
Absolutely.
hazard of mine. Even before we get into stories, I love the logo on your T-shirt, which you're wearing, bro.
Thank you so much.
Please show it to the camera.
It's actually a bee and it's called Beehives and Friends of Bees.
Yay!
Yeah.
Friends of bees,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
My
actually
kind
a
of.
student who one of our interns who made this logo. So had shout out to him. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
uh, Wow, nice, nice. Be wise.
Yeah.
Be yourself. All the bee puns come out. But
Right, so
bee puns, most of them I've heard, are pretty deep hitting and pretty positive, pretty motivating, actually,
absolutely,
in a
absolutely.
humorous way. Wonderful,
Awesome.
man, wonderful.
Sure.
Um, if the corporate world, Surujan,
Right,
yeah,
sir.
uh, sitting inside a cubicle, say 25 years ago, 25, maybe little less than 30 years ago. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If that Srujan had to see today's Srujan, what do you think that old Srujan might get surprised about?
I think he would look back and say that, man, or, it'll be quite different. I mean, probably
And look back or look ahead, because
look
he's
ahead.
looking at
Sorry. Yeah.
future, today's Srujan. So what
Yeah.
would he? Huh?
So I think you wouldn't be surprised,
Okay.
honestly. You
Uh,
wouldn't be surprised because there was something which I always wanted to do or perceive, which always took time. And I think 15 to 10, 20 years of my life has gone in building ideas and, so I think the corporate Sujan would definitely be happy, right, and would be quite content. and no regrets about. So
Content. More than happy, the word content sounds, very much more peaceful. Yeah. Now, before the beehives, before the entrepreneurship, and before your corporate years, even was there maybe, well, so all of us had there when I was young, maybe in my early teens. I already had a voice inside me that wanted to do something different. I'm one of those very few lucky ones who knew at a very young age that I wanted to, earn a living doing what I'm good at. Maybe
right,
what may not be what I'm qualified for.
sure.
So, what kind of calling did you have? You must have had some kind of a calling before your corporate and entrepreneurship life. How was life
Sure.
that time?
Sure. So, good question. I mean, I would say the corporate was a good 10 to 12 odd years, and it was fun. Did it, paid our bills. But
Mm.
then the calling started out while working in a firm out of Bombay, and that time, I decided why not to get into agricultural based companies. I always wanted to get into agriculture some way or the other. And it was just a calling, and I decided, speak to my partner, and we decided to open this store and a brand. And the initial phase was very interesting because we used to get fresh produce like turmeric and honey from Meghalaya to Bombay, and
Also,
then
this was
you
all when you were in Bombay. That's how it
yes,
started.
yes,
You
I was
started in
actually
Bombay and finally landed in Meghalaya.
yeah, yeah.
So
So this
continue. So
was
continue. Mumbai.
so Mumbai 2015 is when I started building Lea Organica, my first brand. And yes, yes, and that time also it was a pretty decent corporate life.
Mhm.
But then I was quite curious about what can I do in my spare time. I was into sales. The profession was good. The perks were good.
Uh,
But then somehow uh, that one trip to Shillong of my life just dragged me back. I was like, this is not happening.
Tell me
And
more. Tell me more. I love Shillong. Tell me more.
so it was when I visited Shillong, and then when I explored the place,
Okay.
and and figured out that there's something that I can do. And this is way back in 2012 or 13, when things were very different. When the internet boom wasn't there, where roads were less known, you were not aware of the viral places around.
Mm,
So just go venture out. And when I came back to Bombay, I realized I can make a living. Right, it's a decent living, and all that you see or read about, how life will be a little slower if you move down to a very slow place. So I rather wanted to experience that, but my mind always was occupied with what will I go with. So I started building the brand from scratch from Bombay, and the first initial meetings were with chefs of the industries and hoteliers in Bombay,
okay.
where we could sell our produce, and we got amazing feedback. We did some decent business of just introduction of the produce. And that time it was very rare for the Meghalayan food to be on the food map, right? It was a long time back where things were exploding, e-commerce was coming in, and we were one of those bunch of five odd companies back home in who were doing this for a
Mm,
certain produce.
mm,
So we got a lot of traction. We enjoyed the
mm,
retail success,
mm.
and I think the transition from Bombay to Shillong was one of the best transitions, because that is a whole game-changing life. That is what made me what a person I am.
Which year
Uh,
was this in, the
this is
transition?
into the 2016, 2016, right?
Wow. Okay. Go on. Okay.
So from there we built a brand. We had a retail shop for close to
Yeah.
about 4 years. We hired some amazing local talent, young kids, and there's something about young people, or the youth, is what attracts me in order to work with, because they're quite up to date, and the energy is very nice. So all my life around here was circling around working with young professions, or hiring them.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. Hmm.
yeah, so there was a lot
And
of
because finding
yeah,
young professionals interested in this kind of a career or a
yeah,
choice is not easy to find youngsters. Yeah. Most of the
sure,
youngsters
sure.
want to jump into the corporate world, right?
Yeah, so
Wonderful, wonderful.
that's the
Yeah.
ace and the
Mm,
advantage
mm,
when we go down to a place like Northeast or
mm,
where I was, where human resources abundant. They are well literate people. The kids
uh,
speak fluent English by default, right? So my first two sales professions were the ones I hired them out of a basketball court where I saw them. I said,
mm.
What are you doing?" They were like almost about to drop out of college, and I was like, okay, let me train you. Come over, give yourself a chance. And they stick to us with close to about a year and a half and 2 years. They
Yeah.
were great sales professions. So these are some of my stories when I was
Wow.
building the brand.
You know what's interesting? You found some of your early teammates on a basketball court.
Right, right.
Whoa, that is so cool. That is so
Uh,
cool. It's metaphorically so rich. Instead of a boring conventional corporate table, you wearing a suit. Oh, come on, tell me something about yourself. No, you had
Absolutely,
an
yeah.
informal meeting kind of a thing while shooting some hoops, man. That is so
Yeah.
cool. That is so cool. That's incredible, man.
S-
Wow. And I always wondered, did Srujan choose Meghalaya or did Meghalaya choose Srujan?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. The place is very dear to me, right? So one of my ex-partners also from there, and I've having lived there for close to about a decade. The whole experience and building a brand from there because I was quite hyperactive, right? I'm
I
super
remember.
hyper. I'm super hyperactive, and there's a lot of activities which keep me busy through the
Mm,
day, and which is typically surrounded by my own creations in order for me to keep busy at a slow pace, at a slow place. So it can get very slow or an extra slow in places like Shillong. So building brands became a kick for me or like a habit for me, or doing workshops on new technologies like 3D printing and introducing to the young folks out there where
wow.
they've never seen it, or to make them print their first 3D print was really a good experience, and it still continues to do so.
Wow. So
So
point is you continued learning and upskilling yourself.
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
That
So
that
so
that is the main thing in all your stories, the one pattern which is common among all your stories is the urge to keep learning.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure. I mean, that is why, for example, if I can talk about how
Mm,
learning is helping me in my own world,
mm,
is
please.
because if I don't upgrade myself,
Mm,
now I was a brand which were just selling turmeric and honey. I'm
okay.
sure part of it, a small jar of honey I had sent you as well.
Thank you.
That was good 5 odd years, but then I realized that though I'm not an expert, or my degree or my bachelorate is not in horticulture or agriculture, completely different from what I studied.
Mm,
But it was interesting to see the brand transit from a retail
mm,
food conventional brand to
mm.
now it's a research and development brand. So yeah, so we use technology. We build technologies for apiculture. We build IoT technologies for monitoring a beehive remotely, and we built a bamboo bee box, which is new to the Indian industry, and that's what we're bringing in solutions to aid the industry.
Oh, so from just selling as a retailer or a distributor, just selling products, you have also gotten into deep research as well
Yes,
as developing futuristic equipment and gear for beehive business.
absolutely,
Ah,
absolutely. You got it right, right.
oh, because that's I think that's beautiful. You started building the foundation. You built one window. Now, man, now you have you're going towards because the research kind of a thing is always it's a beautiful it's a beautiful initiative because even if we pass away, our work will live on.
Sure, sure.
Whoa.
And there's a
Tell
there's
me
a
how that's such a beautiful thought. It gave me goose flesh, bro. Wow, wow, wow,
yeah.
bro. I love the road you're riding on, bro. Wow, nice.
So when a report came to me, I keep learning a lot per se online as well. there was a report which I keep advocating, and I, going to actually use that here in this platform as well.
Mm.
As it's a very publicly available report how honey fraud is happening in India, and how top brands are using, sugar syrups and feeding consumers with fake honey. That was an innovation call for me. And until then, we were just procuring honey from beekeepers, and my curiosity was always to get into beekeeping. So 3 years ago, I picked up my first, investment from the Northeast sector, and then I picked up the first 50 bee boxes of my own, and leased out a
Wow,
beautiful.
you own 550 bee boxes, huh?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one box might approximately have how many bees?
So there's close to about 2,000 bees, approximately 2,000 bees.
In one box?
Yeah, yeah.
And you got 50 of them.
So and plus every box has one queen, right, when it starts with. So so it's a very interesting journey, right? I mean, if you want, I mean, we all experience life and death in different ways, or how a newborn baby is, or how newborn dog is, a puppy, or a
Mm.
newborn kitten is, right? The experience of watching how the egg to larva to pupae stage and then to an adult bee is very much real. You can hold it or you can watch it. So these are some things which came along with an experience, because I did it out of the need. I saw an opportunity, a window open, that there is no technology being used in the Indian apiculture domain. Not in
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. What is
uh,
the term called for beekeeping? Apiculture.
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 Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
apiculture.
Because this
So
word might be new to loads of people. I
absolutely,
won't be
absolutely.
surprised with the apiculture. All right, continue. Yeah,
People
please.
who have
What
bee
else?
farms, also known as apiaries.
Apiaries.
Right, right,
Beautifully. Okay.
right, right.
Apiculture. Got it.
Right.
Interesting.
So there's a technology where West already has it, adopts it, and it's not just a random tech which just gives you data, right?
Mm.
We are stuck with a traditional method of beekeeping in India since the 18th century, and the
Wow, I
it's
didn't know
yeah,
that. Wow.
it's almost 150-year-old design of the bee box, which I personally take it up as a challenge and change the conventional way and bring in modern bee box, which is built with bamboo, and give it a new overall look. So there has been progress over there by meeting the industry heads of the India who takes decisions.
Wow.
So we've gone a certain stage to prove our case studies on paper.
Mm.
So a brand from selling just a honey to a turmeric, and then doing this,
Mm.
it itself is a kind of a testimony to many out there who
Mm.
think can either pivot if
Mm.
they're lost anywhere, or they can just keep continuing what they're doing, and you will find a way out. So that keeps your dream alive. You don't have to just create one and just just.
Talking about keeping your dream alive, there was something very interesting you shared with me before we got into recording this. I remember you described yourself as a permanent outsider.
Right, right,
What
right.
does that phrase mean? I mean, has being an outsider been a burden while growing in your journey, or it has become a gift?
Both ways, both ways,
Interesting.
both ways. The thing is, it's good. When we see everything and when we read everything about living in the mountains and the hills, and everything is beautiful, of course, right? But on ground realities, there are super good challenges. See, we live in sensitive tribal areas, and we mingle with a lot of local tribesmen, right? And touch wood, I have some really great friends, so great, good tribals. But then things get more difficult when you are in a you come from a fast-paced city, right? And you come from also working from ex startups. I used to work in startups as well. So the ball game was very different. I had first hand experiences going to government offices of these states, and looking for connect and network. The approach is very much as an outsider, because you're not from here. To find your way out and to still be there and enjoy everything and still sustain, is it's a beauty in itself. The term itself is where, it's quite personal, because
Personal,
that
it's an identity, my friend.
yeah, yeah,
I am a permanent outsider. I
yeah.
am. The moment you say I am, it becomes identity. But the good news is I'm happy. It's both ways, a burden
Yeah, it
as well
both.
as a gift.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
So
it's
there's
fun.
yin yang happening,
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Yin yang, yin yang.
good one, man.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, so, from startups to Beehive, you just mentioned the word startup. So, out of all the things life could have introduced you to, you know, why bees?
Yeah.
Not just because you tasted sugary honey couple of spoons at some occasions. No, that
Right.
couldn't be the reason. Why bees? Why?
Uh,
I want to know the big why.
sure, sure. It never came to my radar or my map either, right?
Uh,
But then when I got into the honey value chain, and then when I realized that this has history, this is not just a commodity. Right? This is built with enormous patience. I need to understand this, right? So in order to understand it, at first I had to, I can't just. I mean, it was not very easy to have now 50 to 100 bee boxes of mine surviving in another region while I'm sitting here and having a word with you. I
uh,
had to build a brand so somebody can hear me out or hear us out. So I built a brand. Then I understood honey. I sold honey. I understood the ifs and buts. Then I took a bee box, and then I got couple of stings. Uh, and
we are coming to that.
it is a practice. It is just like how a law or a doctor practices. The beekeeping itself is a practice every day, and learning the species, and the behavior, the patterns, and it is how it has turned me into a very different person. Like, because their behavior teaches you a lot of building activities, or team building activities, or activities where you can implement that in your real world.
Yeah,
Um,
because I was about to come to my favorite question, that what have bees taught you about life that human beings often forget?
Very good question. Very good question. So it's a very thankless job, right? I'll tell you what. It's one of the most thankless jobs what a bee is doing inside a bee box, right? Because why thankless is because they are building honey is firstly their own food, but then we are doing scientific beekeeping. So there is X number of 20 to 30% of the honey which is for them for their survival,
So you leave it
and
for them.
yeah,
That is sweet, yeah? That is sweet.
and the remaining there is a stop box, and then you take that. That is completely for human
So the
consumption.
30% with the honey which you leave in the beehive, that
Right.
should be sufficient for their survival.
Absolutely. As the colony grows, the queen bees also lay close to about 500 to 1,000 eggs every day.
Every
Uh,
day?
yeah, when it's a season of laying eggs.
Excuse
So
me, man. I mean, is there a competition between bees and rabbits? Come on.
so so so
Oh,
yeah, and then
it's
you already
fascinating.
have a
Hmm.
buzzing colony, out of which you have male bees and female bees. The male bees typically don't survive more than 3 to 5 months. Once they mate with the queen, they expire. They are the most laziest species, the male bees of the colony. They don't work, they don't bring in food. They're just there to mate the queen
क्या
and die.
करता है हनी भी तो टाइट होकर पड़ा रहता है क्या tell me
And
something.
yeah,
Is it true that when a bee stings,
yeah.
once it's used its stinger, then what? The bee dies.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And these are female bees. right? The
Oh,
worker, female worker bees, the most crucial bees. So protection gear is very important. Movement of your, all this I learned it the very hard way as well. So it's still
experience taught you after a
a-
bunch
a-
of
abs-
stings.
absolutely, absolutely. It's very interesting.
Mm,
Bees
mm.
also have facial recognition in them.
Capacity.
Yeah, so it's almost like it's you're having a dog or a cat, right? And I feed my when I go to farms, I feed my bees pollen or good honey,
Huh.
right?
Mm.
And that's how they recognize you. They won't sting you, or they will just be around you. Then there are types
Hey,
of
he's the good guy. He's coming with the goodies. Ah.
so
Oh, he's not
that's
the
the
Grinch. He's Santa. Don't bite Santa. He's come with the gifts.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there is a relationship that you have with your bees,
Really?
right? Yeah, yeah. So it's that's amazing, and to see one of the most then they're really harmless actually. It's how you behave and how you see them as species, and that is how bees are. But let me just throw in the angle of pollination and why it is important for them to be around
Mm.
and why it is vital for the trees out there at the whole entire pollination process.
No,
So that is
the
why.
job is thankless, but without them, hasn't some great person said that without, if there were no bees in the world, within 5 years, humanity will perish?
Now, Mr. Einstein, it's just,
Huh?
I think it's not, yeah, they've quoted him. But yeah, I
Mm.
mean,
They quoted,
we
yeah.
are at the,
So how
yeah,
is
yeah.
that
So
connected? I think majorly due to it's connected to pollination.
absolutely. So
Because
the
if
food
bees disappear,
security, the
pollination would
entire,
stop. If pollination stops, uh,
absolutely.
greenery would stop. Greenery stops,
Your
soil
seed
erosion.
production, germination, nothing happens.
Wow. Oh man, crazy, crazy. So I think the lesson which I get from what you told about bees is if being a bee is a thankless job, what do they have that keeps them going, keeps them focusing on their goal without any fear of judgment or worry? That is the lesson humans could learn from them, in spite of being, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Hey, hold on. Recently, I'm speaking with my viewers. I'm going to share the link of a YouTube video where Srujan Kotum gave a speech recently, and I'll be sharing that link there. In that speech, which I just saw on YouTube recently about where you were speaking, Srujan, you mentioned something about you need to, because your hives are somewhere down the hill, you would take maybe 30 minutes to reach, or you one mentioned something about a hornet. You mean a single
Right.
hornet can go and create havoc in an entire box of bees?
Absolutely. It can disrupt the entire colony.
So hornets or wasps are enemies of bees.
One of the enemies, yeah. There are varoras, or varroa insects as well, we call it.
Okay.
These are also some white tiny insects, and they also. So these are some of the threats to the colonies, and
When you
also
mean
the
threat to the colony, majorly these predators come there to eat the bees' eggs, I guess.
right. So there's for example, the larva as well, then honey
Larva.
as well.
Huh.
There's wax. There's a wax moth which will just come and put the wax around the entire bee comb and just suck away the entire honey or kill the larva. So these are some predators.
What?
And
Whoa, 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 you just spoke so casually. What did you say that moth's name was?
wax moth.
Man, it sounds like a wax moth. Hindi wali moth, moth. Gosh. मतलब आएगा तेरे दरवाजे पे ऐसा एक स्क्रीन लगाएगा स्ट्रॉ डालेगा पूरा चूस का चला जाएगा
चले जाएगा और बाद में पूरा wax आ जाएगा
गॉड
फॉर्म पे.
wax moth. Oh my god.
Yeah, so these are some things, and also an interesting behavior when there's a new
Wow.
queen.
Huh.
The
Okay.
entire colony decides to, there's more than one cell, egg cell, which can be a queen bee, right? While in production.
Okay.
So if there is, then the new queen pops up, and the new queen has the ability to take the entire colony with her and run away. So
So she'll run away means she'll take the entire gang with her
she'll
and she'll
elope.
start going somewhere else and build a new hive.
Aha. So this is a very common behavior,
Indeed.
which is called CCD, which is called colony collapse disorder. So beekeeper, if without any modern technology, if he's not checking his beehive regularly, and one fine day the new queen bee decides, and you'll just find the old queen bee lingering inside alone, empty.
All the
They'll
bees are
just
gone.
yeah, they've gone with the new queen. They'll discard the old queen, or they'll throw her out away. That's how the engineering works, of these tiny creatures. Very pridey in nature.
Oh my goodness. Crazy, yeah, crazy. Man. I think man is learning all the wrong things from nature because that looks like human behavior to me. इसका मेरा पार्टी लेके मैं भाग गया. You come to my party, I'm forming a new party.
Absolutely,
No, but
absolutely.
in nature, see, in human race, it might be looked at as being opportunist or
Sure,
taking advantage, taking leverage of someone else's situation.
for sure.
But in nature,
Uh-huh.
it's survival of the
It's
fittest.
survival. It's pure survival.
It's
Here
pure
it is.
survival of it. So it's not you can't look at that and say manipulation. If
Uh,
that doesn't happen, they might starve and die.
Yeah, like average flight time or a duration, the flight trip
Ah,
for a worker bee is close to about 100 to 120 flowers every day, right? Right.
man, he's a hard worker.
And then I think you will have at least 50 to 100 worker bees collecting the nectar to make it 1 tablespoon of honey.
So one bugger visits around 200 flowers in a day,
Yeah,
and such visits, there will be another 200 bees do the same to
absolutely.
get 1 tablespoon of honey.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Wow.
nature is really interesting that way when it comes to bees. It's giving you one of the best product or a sweetener or used in thousands of years for medications.
And honey is the only non-perishable edible thing, right? It doesn't get spoiled at all.
Absolutely not. In fact, when
Honey
we
is the only food item in the world, I believe,
yeah,
which
yeah,
doesn't
in
have an
fact,
expiry date.
absolutely. In fact, we have a trivia on our labeling. We took it from one of the old news which had published where they found honey from a 3,000-year-old mummy. So on our branding, yeah, and very much edible. So on our branding, we have it like bet you can pass your friend this honey, if they can live up to 3,000
My
years.
God.
So
My
yeah.
God.
It's good until it's good until greed kicks in, like again, because you have the big multinationals and you have companies who would just buy off beekeepers produce and just take them to the factory and then reproduce it using processing syrups and corn syrup, sugar, and then
Oh,
that goes on the retail, right? And that's what the consumer buys it back. So the awareness of such is there is enough data, but then I think it is consciousness of humans, whether
mhm.
how pure they want and how diluted they want, you know but yeah.
And after even coming shifting to Meghalaya, and you started with with honey and turmeric business. But when you were learning this trade, when you were learning this craft rather, or this art of beekeeping, you mentioned about interacting with tribe people, the tribes in Meghalaya. So you
Mhm.
must have actually gone deep inside the beautiful forests of Meghalaya to
Yeah, yeah.
actually meet tribes who are still today, till date, cut off from modern civilization and stuff like
Yeah,
that. There are such
totally.
tribes.
Totally. There are such tribes. I mean, there are. I live in the town, the city Shillong.
Okay.
Typically, it's like any other town out there. So everybody is quite educated, and it's a multi cultural place.
Right.
But then the farms where I used to practice and work in bee farms were close to about 35 kilometers downhill.
Hmm.
And that's where I used to interact and lived amongst the tribes of, it's called the Reboy district.
Okay.
And had an amazing time. It's a godly, great place. Beautiful. My time would just go by just going 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock, feed the bees, check on the bee box one by one. At least one day I would cover 7 to 10 bee boxes because you can't do 50 at a stage.
Hmm.
Uh, and then while checking these bees, and it's a pineapple field, right? So
Hmm.
you have pineapples
Oh, oh, oh,
around.
oh, interesting. Huh. Huh.
And it's a beautiful 3 acre land, which was well with a water pond and everything. So it's still there. There's a lot of visitors which go out there.
Okay.
But then something which I did is practice 1 year of beekeeping there.
Okay.
And the local villages were taught beekeeping. They already brought in their traditional learnings along. I learned from them.
Mhm.
And
The old school, the old
Yeah,
school method.
the old
Uh,
school. So there is an old school, new school. I mean, I
Obviously.
would wear a bee whale.
Hmm.
There's an old dude who would just come and just put his hand inside the bee box and remove the queen bee. I was like, what the
Yo, bro, what's up with you?
hell? So, these are good learnings. The
I'm
food,
just trying to visualize that. Whoa, your first reaction would have been, whoa.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's good culture. It's heavy on culture. It's heavy on food, and So I believe in the term "when in Rome, be like Rome, or be like Romans." Right. So that helped me, and of course, my upbringing and where I come from, Bombay, it has, the sense of living amongst where you are living and be like one has taught me, to survive or to struggle and overcome the struggle,
Uh,
and get about it, and just every day is a new day, you know.
Brilliant,
So
man. Brilliant. Way to go, man. This is just amazing. Hey, there is something else which I really wanted to understand better is bees, though they good flowers, there must be few um, olfactory odors which they use, smells, some kind of odors which irritates bee. Which are the smells which could irritate bee? Why I'm asking you is I am a huge wildlife fan
okay,
and I have visited loads of animal parks and tiger reserves in our country.
right.
And it was told to me by a naturalist that sir जब भी आप जंगल में जाओ कभी परफ्यूम या डिओड्रेंट लगा के नहीं जाना.
Perfect, सही बोला
So
आपने.
that is not because of the tiger attack or a bear attack. Sir, bees.
Please, yeah,
There
yeah.
is a risk that you might get attacked by bees because this perfume smells, it irritates them, it seems.
It does irritate. It does
हाँ,
irritate
जंगल
them.
में गया तो डिओड्रेंट लगा के नहीं जाने का.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So one of the reasons why I almost stopped using deodorant even on a regular day basis, because I do have to end up looking at bees any given day. It just a normal beekeeper's journey is just keep himself quite clean, because bees like clean, and they're quite clean and tidy themselves because that's their
And
home, right?
they're
And
very sophisticated.
sophisticated.
I like bees.
So they will be cleaning their hive, and throwing all away the dirt and everything. So they do it all by themselves,
So you
right?
mean अगर गलती से तू डिओड्रेंट लगा के गया तो bee will immediately sense that something is off.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not it's the
So it's a risk that they might attack.
it's a risk more. It's definite that you will be attacked, and that.
Definite risk, definite. My God. Hey, that is like suicide, man.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we advise when
Yeah, here's a can of deodorant. I thought you wanted to kill yourself. Yeah, wear some and enter that room, kind
yeah,
of thing.
so we get a lot of work. We do a lot of workshops at schools and universities. They do come
Oh,
because,
very good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the colleges or the schools, as per few mandates, beekeeping is supposed to be taught, and this has been quite active. I don't think it isn't there in tier one cities of Bombay, Pune, but here beekeeping is taught in education. So they come to us for workshops at our farms. So one of the prerequisites that I send to their HODs would be, please tell your students no makeup and no deodorants, right?
Oh,
Um,
it's for example, when you're conducting a workshop.
yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
One of the
so the
prerequisites.
do's and the don'ts before you come for the workshop.
Right, right, right. So they come, they get a hands-on experience on the bees. They understand, and there are few tips, and they get to hold a bee and hold a comb and understand. So that's the kind of experience we give them, and the nature around it. So they take a quick walk. That's the kind of experience that we give.
So I hope you get to conduct so many more sessions like that with kids and youngsters, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm trying to do one in Pune because I was in Pune and the Central Bee Research Training Institute of Bees is in Pune, in
You were
Shivaji.
there last month, I believe,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and you had messaged me,
Yes, I did. Yes,
and
I did.
I was either traveling or I was
You were
busy.
on a bike tour ride.
I was riding, had to be. And if I was in town, I would have come and met you, man.
Absolutely.
I
So
missed an opportunity, not just to meet you, to learn more about bees in front. Anyways, this simply means that when my new motorcycle comes, the first long ride has to be Meghalaya. I
absolutely,
have to make it
absolutely.
off. I don't have a
You must
no
come.
choice. I'll come there, man. I'll come.
If you're gonna come, bring along your son. I believe you're riding along with him.
Yeah, I do ride a lot with my son. However, now he's become 12, where he's entering pre-teens. Papa,
Okay.
let's not ride in summer. I don't want to miss my football. He broke my
Oh.
heart. Now, oh, majorly into football.
Okay.
So when he says no, suddenly I go blank. No, what's the purpose of ride? Where should I ride? Why should I ride? That kind of a thing.
Sure,
But no,
sure.
no, no, I'm just kidding. I'll try to let me see because it'll be fun if he also gets exposed to that beautiful part of our country, that side northeast, as well as the culture, the colors, and bees, of
Yeah,
course.
sure, sure, sure. You
Tell me
must.
something. You
Yeah.
know, of course, bees. Most people would stop after one successful chapter in their life. I mean, why does Srujan keep reinventing himself? Retail, Uber services, education, 3 printing, beekeeping. What connects all these seemingly different worlds for Srujan? What connects?
Uh, I think it is I mean, the zeal for being creating something, not just out of compulsion, but as a solution, and keeping my mind creatively involved in my own world. In short, when I was working earlier in Bombay days, and advertising or marketing was one of the most booming sectors and sought after jobs.
Mm,
And I would never make the cut because I didn't knew, or I was not never guided. But then I made sure that the brands that I'm building, and as an experience for me, I understood how to build a brand, how a PR works,
mm,
and the whole thing, what exactly an advertising agency does. So that being one, but reinventing and being out there is to be relevant in a place where I am, of course, and to make honest living. And the whole point is, uh, if you don't travel, you don't fail. These are some fundamentals which I have been on traveling and building and failing and repeating that. And yeah,
That is good. It's viewers who are watching what he just mentioned right now. You viewers, you must Google a term called as cybernetics. That's exactly what is happening. Doing it, going on with the process, suddenly Archanai, you get a feedback, understand the feedback, work on the feedback, complete the loop, continue the process. It's called cybernetics principle. Wow, I mean, आप बिल्कुल भैया क्या बात कर रहा now. When you said all this, you did mention the word failure.
right.
So which let me put it a beekeeper, right? Let me use the right some flowery words. Yeah. Which season of your life was the hardest?
I think it's when I lost close to about 35 bee colonies. Uh,
Oh,
that
oh man, you.
was
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So that was the hardest season. Matter of fact, we lost half of the entire colony strength because of heavy. There was heavy rain and storms, and that is also where we realized that there's a calling for making a new product. But yeah, that was one of the hardest seasons. 35 colonies we lost in a single night.
in a single night.
Yeah, yeah, all wiped out. Either they ran away or wiped out. So.
God. So if 35 colonies you lose, so if you look at it from a mathematical point of view, it
So
affects
each bee box gives you roughly 7 to 8 kilos of honey. We I only work, or the brand only functions with the Southeast Asian, or we call it the Desi bees. Is the conservation of the Desi bees that we do. There
okay.
is Western bees as well in the market, but there is a reservation of only doing Southeast Asian and Desi bees in the Northeast. It's a
Oh,
strict regulation.
I'm sure there is laws for that too.
Yes, yes. However, down in the plain areas, down in Assam or back in north, up north in plains of UP,
Hmm.
the UP is the mecca of beekeeping, and they use industrial bees. Industrial bees are just like your Jersey cows,
Hmm.
right? So these have a capacity of 35, 40 odd kilos of honey. Wherein for us, so if you do, we lost close to about 200 odd kilos of honey overnight.
Forget the honey, yaar. I'm feeling bad for the bees, yaar.
Yeah,
What?
of course, of course. The colony
No, no,
has
no.
a
See, your perspective is absolutely true. It's from the entrepreneur perspective. My perspective is from a bee lover, yaar. I'm not an
sure, sure, sure.
entrepreneur from that. It's from a bee lover.
Sure, 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 sure. There is a handful of incidents which causes such, I mean, in a day to day. I mean, that is why to constantly monitor the bees by
Hmm.
opening them is not viable, and that is why we also created a monitoring device for it. Uh,
Oh,
s-
nice.
yeah,
So
so you
what, you
can.
have tiny CCTV cameras inside it, the box?
No, no, we have sensors. We've
Oh,
tested with
sensors. Oh,
cameras.
okay.
Yeah, we've tested with cameras, but we find with sensors which give us enough about the hive health, and you can
You
check it
have
on your.
something called sensors and stuff, huh? So which is
Yeah, yeah.
monitored from a cubicle or a
It's
office
it's attached
space.
to the bee box. It's attached to the bee
Oh,
box,
okay. So you
and then
just
it.
need to go and check the monitor, the
Yeah,
status.
you get it on your phone or your laptop. You can just check the dashboard, and it'll give you information like the temperature, the health of the hive, the weight of the hive. So you don't have
Health
to
of the
miss.
hive, weight of the hive. Tell me
Yeah,
more about weight of the hive.
yeah.
How important is that? I mean, why do you talk about weight of the hive? Because it doesn't
Well,
have honey, it only has bees. What do you mean by weight of the
no,
hive?
no. I mean, they will start gathering nectar and build the colony, and then the honey develops, right?
Oh, so
So
as the weight increases,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
ah,
yeah. So the
yeah,
weight
of
increases.
course.
So though that is important and vital as well, because that is one of the key reasons what
Hmm.
any beekeeper goes out there and takes care of the bees, is because by मेरे को कितना honey आने वाला है. तो
Ah,
might as well, because a lot of disturbance say colony loss भी बहुत होता है. A lot of bees also die in between. So to avoid that, the manual interaction or technology is built around it.
so, who's the biggest honey poacher in the world? Human or a bear or a honey badger?
That's a very good question. I think all three.
All three.
All three, all three.
Hey, tell me
Uh,
something. You must have bears in Northeast, right? In the jungles, bears. Do you have bears? If you have honey, you should have bears.
never encountered one, but there are
There must
stories.
be
Of
because
course,
I've
there are.
heard there are bears, sloth bears especially
Mhm.
out there, and they
Sloth bears,
also
yes. Sloth bears,
yeah,
yes.
and
Yeah.
I've heard you have honey badgers in India, man. I never knew India had honey badgers. I always thought it was
It
only
would
on
be
the
the
African
West.
continent. African continent.
Africa. Okay. Okay.
African. However, whenever I travel, once, 3 years ago, I went to Gir National Park to see Asiatic lions with my son. There, someone told me, "Sir, यहाँ भी honey badger है." मैंने बोला, "कहाँ है honey badger?"
Uh,
I actually googled, and you mean this picture? I showed a picture.
uh.
ये वाला, because honey badgers is one of the most amazing creatures on this planet, man.
Sure, sure, sure.
I'm a huge fan of honey badger.
And I think honey is their favorite food.
Yeah,
And they don't
bro.
care. They don't care about the
They are
bees. They just
immune to viper venoms and all, man.
yeah, yeah, I know, I know.
Maybe a Russell's viper, it fights with him, it bites it. This bugger just gets high and he
He
sleeps.
just gets high. Yeah,
He
yeah.
gets high, he sleeps it out, gets up, and he fights and starts eating the same snake, bro. I mean, get out
Crazy.
of here, man. So,
Immortal.
talking about bees, I know there is a very famous terminologies when it comes to bees. I think that they're only found in African continent. Correct me if I'm wrong. Killer bees. There is a
Yeah,
concept called killer bees, right?
there are killer bees. Yes, yes, yes.
That's a
Yeah.
funda, right? And
Yeah.
they're like
They're
huge
pretty
bees.
big. They're very big. They're as big as a hornet, and they're very dangerous. Yes.
I mean, they
Uh,
actually, so those killer bees actually have venom in them.
they have. Every bee has a venom.
Oh, every bee.
Primarily, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
primarily the
so,
female and
mm,
bees have more venom, and the venom which is actually commercially used. And there's a product which is called bee venom. So the bee box does not
what?
just yeah.
What's a bee? Get out of here.
What
Well,
the
okay, okay. This is getting
yeah.
interesting. Okay.
So there's a product which is largely used in your everyday use of your your wellness, beauty, also used in Ayurvedic purposes and anxiety balms. So
Yeah,
the byproduct.
I've learned a couple of new things today.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So bee venom is one of the byproduct which you get. Honey is one of them. Bee wax. Then there's
I've heard.
pollen. Right. There's bee pollen. Then there's propolis. Propolis. Bee propolis is also a very resin type material, which the bees, while traveling, bringing in pollen back and forth, they leave the resin in the propolis net. So that is high in protein. So there are more than five byproducts a bee box gives you. It's not just honey.
For human benefit.
For human consumption and benefit, yes.
So for human consumption and benefit, so बी है और हम कंज्यूमर्स है बीच में आ गए ना बिजनेस
हाँ,
वाले
बीच बीच में तो
हमारे
बहुत
पास बी से
है.
सारा पांचों माल निकल के हमारे पास पहुंचाने तक बीच में वो सब चालू हो जाता है
Absolutely,
अडल्ट्रेशन
absolutely.
एडिंग शुगर डूइंग दिस एंड दैट
Sure.
no wonder man the most dangerous animal in this planet is a human.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, what saves this is only strict laws and regulations. The
thank,
the other
thank,
countries
thank
they
God for
don't.
that.
Yeah, I mean, the other countries they don't entertain honey from India much. It's very difficult to
Ah,
break through the supply chain in
really?
the West while you're exporting because of the lack of faith or because of the past how it is haunted and India's especially honey as a commodity by far contributes a lot to that segment. So to be authentic, to be premium,
मतलब
and
हनी हनी मार्केट में इंडिया का सिबिल स्कोर खराब है.
बहुत खराब है, बहुत खराब है. तो वैसा है.
Oh यार.
So it all boils down to regulation.
Man, I hope the sooner we, as a nation, realize as a nation, not just because you can't just only keep asking and depending on government only
Absolutely
to
not.
do
Absolutely.
everything. Yeah, government भी कितना करेगा रे?
No,
You and
sure.
I, common man, have to have the awareness and the willingness to understand the importance of not just bees, the importance of conserving nature
Sure.
एनवायरमेंट बातें हम 20 से शुरू कर रहे हैं बट आई
Mhm.
वोंट बी सरप्राइज आज का तारीख में you buy a bottle of drinking water for 20 rupees. If the rate we are going at, destroying nature or challenging mother nature, I wouldn't be surprised 30 years down the line, or maybe even 20. Every pawn shop you'll have oxygen cylinders for 20 bucks. Yeah, Bisleri
Yeah, yeah.
oxygen cylinder. Hey, hold on.
I
I
think they
need
were
that
doing
guy.
that.
Can dena.
They
Where was
they
it?
were doing something like this in Delhi, I believe, for some years back.
I was
So
joking, bro. It's already started.
there was a thing like this, but then yeah, yeah. I mean, see, it is important to bring in nature into the cities.
Hmm.
Cities are actually exhausting, right?
Oh,
There,
cities have noisy beehives.
yeah, yeah. So the best is we are advocating and approaching a lot of agencies or private players to take up, or collaborations to take up urban pollination.
Uh,
So that means you have one bee box in every house, or one bee box in your, let's say, in your Hinjawadi call center, 10 buildings, one bee box, right? So that actually brings in the kind of pollination impact
uh,
which you need.
mm.
Right. So yeah, I mean, nature should be close. It should not be.
I really want to see. I've started after having this conversation with you so far. I now it is going to really help me visualize, see future Shrujan doing much, uh, impactful thing, especially for the well-being of not just bees, for the well-being of the beehive, for apiculture, for beehive entrepreneurship. So
Right.
you mean there is a scope for youngsters to make a career out of bee apiculture, you mean?
Yeah, totally, totally. There's a huge window. There's huge
There's a
window.
huge
There's
window. So for
yeah, yeah.
if I have some viewers who are youngsters who could be in their 12th standard or maybe thinking about their graduation or something, and if they want to venture into entrepreneurship, so is there any books or any website they could visit and learn more about it? Are there any institutes in India where they teach
Yeah,
and
yeah,
get
yeah,
degrees
yeah.
on apiculture?
Yeah. They certainly can visit Pune's CBRTI, Central Bee Research Training Institute of India.
Okay.
They give you a 3-week course. Then there is under the mango tree. There's a society and a
Wow.
brand where they're widely known for giving trainees to new beekeepers and old. We also host workshops, and at the same
Oh,
time,
Matana, I'm more interested in that. You
yeah, yeah.
that's
So
my
we
boy.
we also host workshops.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, apart from going out and having the experience yourself, the young out there can actually take this up, because you can take anything up, like build a brand of honey. You can source honey from genuine beekeepers. You can connect with us. You can or repack it and sell it in the market. You can be a brand in itself. You can take up building bee boxes. You can take up rearing bees, selling bees. So the value chain is a lot. It's a $1 billion industry, and it just looks like okay, just a bee box and gives you honey. But in order to make the bee box and the bees, there's an entire supply chain behind it. So
Mm.
yes, research
Interesting. There are a
again.
lot of career opportunities here.
Research as well is something which is upcoming and has been used heavily into our division of beekeeping. So kids can take that up as well. So yeah.
Maybe the small kids of today, when they grow up, in another 5, 6 years down the line, they could be learning from your research institute.
Oh, sure, definitely, sir. Why
Yeah?
not? Why not?
All righty, bro. Now, one of my favorite questions is, so you and I are having a conversation now.
Right, right.
Okay, now let's go somewhere else. What conversations are you having with yourself these days?
So with myself, it's more about have I served the purpose? Is it time to go back home? So as a permanent outsider, there's always a home somewhere, and mine, I have one. And the thing is, uh, uh, I want to take a personal experience and share it.
Please.
That I was involved in anthropology. Right. So there was 2 to 3 years of my life which I dedicated in Shillong for our friend's father's work, who's a known anthropologist of India, a Britisher who had come to India and settled, and his work and his travel journey across Northeast. And he's actually a known figure. And his books, his name is Mr. Verrier Elvin, and his work and his concept of life in journey and travel across Northeast. This was from 1930s to 1967, and I was fortunate to be part of a work where we had to digitize over 10,000 photos of his entire time in India and digitize them from negatives to a digital copy.
What an
So
opportunity, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So there I learned a lot about tribals of Northeast and his story and the love for
And
Northeast.
it was like the universe sent you resources
Yeah,
for your
yeah,
own venture to
yeah.
learn
So
first-hand
yeah,
resources.
so
Wow.
that changed, and till now I hold it up personally to me because I think anybody or for me, for example, where I am at right now, every day is a day to see how far I've come
Wow.
and to see where I can go. And if, because, I was able to do all this, because I'm fortunate my parents gave me enough freedom, gave me the best of the best education, right, to
Be
experience this
very
life.
grateful, bro. Be very
Right.
grateful to them.
So to experience this kind of life and to actually get into this, but yeah, it's just a mindset of work is worship,
Mm.
and looking forward, to see where my deeds or my work will take me, where I can spread some good awareness.
Good, man. Good, good, good. Nice, nice. All right, let's do a quick rapid fire. Coffee or chai?
Coffee,
Mountains or cities?
mountains,
Honeybee or bumblebee?
honeybee.
One book everyone should read.
Uh, One book everyone should read is uh, okay. I don't read books enough,
It's
but
all
then
right. It's all right. One person who influenced you deeply.
you.
Come on. Thank you. Okay, one lesson entrepreneurship taught you.
Is to accept failure.
Brilliant. I love that answer. That's my favorite answer.
Yeah.
Okay, one more quick question. One thing bees do better than humans.
I think they really don't care about their environment at all, and they are for the environment actually. So it's a very thankless job, and I don't think humans can ever step
You
into
just
that.
said it. They are for the environment, not the
Yeah,
other way around.
yeah. So I don't think we as humans can ever be that. I mean,
Wow. I know, man. Crazy, yeah. So 25 years from now, an older Srujan meets today's Srujan. What do you hope he'll thank you for?
to bring in, I'll be very grateful for this entire
Today's Srujan.
journey. And that's about it. I mean, I wouldn't have. I mean, maybe I could have been happy back in the corporate life, but then at the same time, I wouldn't have experienced this calling ever. Right. So it's good. Sometimes I go home.
A person like you would have remained in the corporate life. You would have required right now, you would have having a conversation with a therapist, not UD.
True,
I'm
true,
so
true.
happy you went into whatever the field and the line you've chosen, man. I'm very, very happy for you, man. I'm
Right,
so
sir. Thank you so much.
so happy for you. I'm so proud of you, man. It is absolutely amazing, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much,
so
sir.
thank you, Srujan. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for your
much.
time.
Arey, the pleasure's all mine, buddy. Not
It
just
was
for
great.
sharing your journey, but for reminding us that life doesn't have to follow a straight line. Sometimes
Definitely.
the road takes us through offices, sometimes through startups, sometimes through failure,
Sure.
and sometimes through beehives.
Absolutely.
And somewhere along the way, we discover that reinvention isn't starting over, it's simply becoming more of who we are. Thank you
Right.
for riding along with us, Rujan. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, Judy, sir. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. This has been episode 23 of the UD Roadcast, from cubicles to beehives. I am UD. Until the next conversation, stay curious, because you never know where life might take you. And remember, don't do anything that I wouldn't. I love you all. Mwah.